Hello all, my name is Krish Naik and welcome to my YouTube channel. So guys, this is the second tutorial on building generative AI applications using LangGraph. If you don't know about LangGraph, it is an amazing module that is provided by LangChain to build multi-AI agents. Not only you'll be able to create agents, but also you'll be able to manage the entire state and you can actually create an entire workflow. In this video, we are going to create an application wherein we will try to integrate a chatbot with a third-party tool, and this will be developed in the form of a workflow. Now, whenever you ask a query to the chatbot, first of all, it is going to go ahead and ask that particular question to that particular external tool. The external tool can be Wikipedia, it can be Google search. If it provides you the response, then you get the response over there. If it does not provide the response, then it is again going to go back to the LLM model, and then it is going to provide you the response. So this entire flow we will try to develop with the help of LangGraph module. So again, this particular video will be somewhere around 25 to 30 minutes. So please make sure that you watch this video till the end, and trust me, LangGraph is definitely going to have a huge scope as we go ahead. So yes, this was it. Go ahead and enjoy this specific video. Thank you. Hello guys. So in this video, we are going to develop a multi-AI agent, generative AI application using LangGraph, wherein we will try to create a chatbot. Along with the chatbot, we will also be integrating with some third-party tool, so that whenever we ask a query with the chatbot, if the query is being able to handle by the chatbot, which is specifically being using some LLMs, then we will directly get the response. But if it does not has the answer, it will go ahead and ask this specific external tool. So the entire flow or the architecture looks something like this. Here we will go ahead and start this process. Here any user, if any user is specifically asking any query, first of all, the query will go to the chatbot. Then the chatbot will decide whether it should specifically provide the answer or should it probably go ahead and ask some third-party tool, right? The third-party tool can be Wikipedia, it can be Google search, anything it can be, right? And this chatbot that you will be seeing, it will also be interacting with some open source LLM models. And this open source LLM model, we will be accessing it from the Grok API. So now we are going to go ahead with respect to one additional step with respect to LangGraph, like how we can integrate some tools, you know. Here I'll be showing an example with respect to one tool. Like this, you can add any number of tools, and when the interaction is done with the tool, you get the response, and then you finally end this entire flow. Okay. So let's go ahead and implement this step by step. Now, first of all, what we really need to do is that we need to go ahead and install all these libraries. That is LangGraph, Langsmith, LangChain, LangChain_Grok. You know why LangChain_Grok is specifically used, so that you can actually communicate with the Grok API. Then you have LangChain community, right? So I will go ahead and execute this. So once you specifically execute this, here LangGraph is going to get this. All these libraries will be installed. Okay. Now, after installing this, we will go ahead and import two more libraries. One is annotated and typedect. The reason is very simple. If you have already seen my previous video, we are going to use these two libraries in our state class, which will be managing the state of the LangGraph, right? So let's go ahead and execute this. So once we have executed this, I will go ahead and start writing my code, right? Now, first thing first, what we really need to do is that I will also go ahead and install some tools, you know, and LangChain already provides you some amazing tools, and tools here that we are going to use is specifically like Wikipedia or RCF, you know. So if you have already explored LangChain, so already there a lot of third-party tools is specifically available, right? So for that, I will go ahead and write a comment. Here we're going to working with tools or external tools. So first of all, I will go ahead and write from LangChain_community .utilities. I'm going to go ahead and import two tools I can actually use, but right now I will just show you an example with respect to one tool. One is RCF API wrapper, and the second tool that I'm actually going to use is something like Wikipedia API wrapper, right? Now, RCF is basically, if you are looking for any research papers, you can basically go ahead and interact with this particular wrapper. Instead, if you just want to get the search from Wikipedia, you can go ahead and take it from this particular library. Okay. Then the next step will be that from LangChain_community.tools import rsif query run. This will be responsible in running any queries that you specifically give. And then you have this Wikipedia query run. Okay, so this is for the rsif tool. This is specifically for the Wikipedia tool. Okay, then after this, I'm just going to go ahead and call my rsif and Wikipedia tools. So let's say Wikipedia tools. Okay, then here I'm going to write my rsif underscore wrapper is equal to rsif API wrapper. Here, let's say in this API wrapper, how many results I want. I will go ahead and provide a parameter that is top k results. Let's say top k results, I just want one result. And I will go ahead and write my document content character max, like how many characters I specifically want. Let's say I will go ahead and write 300. Okay. Then with the help of this rsif, what I'm actually going to do, I'll go ahead and create this specific tool. I will use this rsif query run, and I will give the wrapper as a parameter over here, right? One amazing thing about Google Colab is that it is now providing you code suggestion, which will be very helpful whenever you are writing any code. Similarly, if I go ahead and write my API underscore wrapper, I will go ahead and use my Wikipedia wrapper. Here also I will go ahead and write my top k results and document content characters, max characters, I really want 300, right? That basically means whenever we are interacting with Wikipedia, I'm going to get the response as one document at a time, and inside that document the maximum number of characters will be 300. So finally I will go ahead and also write about Wikipedia tool, where I'm going to use this Wikipedia run query run, and we are going to run this particular API wrapper. So two things, I've actually imported it. Now let's go ahead and just okay, one error is basically there. Let's say, okay, I have not installed, so we need to install rsif and Wikipedia. Okay, so without this will not work. Okay, so let's go ahead and execute this quickly. So this is going to get installed. Here you can see that it is getting installed, because without this particular packages, we will not be able to execute this code. Right now it should basically run. Here I'm getting an error saying that base tool underscore unit. Okay, rsif tools takes rsif wrapper. Okay, this is my rsif wrapper. I need to provide my parameter, because over here I will go ahead and give my API underscore wrapper as my parameter. Okay, so I'm not going to edit any of this particular errors, so please make sure that, and this is the key that is specifically used. That is the reason it was giving an error. Now it should run. Okay, now this is run perfectly. Now let's go ahead and run any of this. So I will go ahead and write wikipedia.tool, and let me go ahead and ask who is, I'll ask any question. Who is a famous actor? Let's say Shah Rukh Khan. Okay, so here I'm going to write wiki underscore tool. It should be dot invoke. Okay, so if I really want to invoke any of this, invoke, and let's me go ahead and execute it. Now it should probably go ahead and search from Wikipedia, and I'm getting the response over here. The maximum number of characters will be 300. Similarly, if you can go ahead and use this rsif tool also. So if I go ahead and write rsif underscore tool dot invoke, okay, attention is all you need. So this is one of the research paper related to transformers. So here you can see I'm getting all the information. You do not need all the information. So this is basically coming from the rsif itself, right? And all the author, research paper names, everything is basically available over here. So perfect. That basically means my external tools are working absolutely fine, right? But since I'm just going to use one tool, you can also use any number of tools. So I'll just go ahead and write this as wiki over here, or wiki underscore tool. So this will basically be my tool. Afterwards, let's say if you want to go ahead and add any number of tools, just go ahead and write comma and keep on adding all the tool, right? So now my third party tool is done. Now I'm going to create my LangGraph application. Okay, LangGraph applications. Now in order to start LangGraph application, already in our previous video you have seen, I'm going to create class state, and here I'm going to use my type dict. Okay, the reason why I'm using this, because I'm going to create this messages variable, which will be a list of variables. Okay, and I'm going to use the annotated, and I have to make sure that whenever the execution of a specific node gets completed, I'm going to go ahead and just make sure to update this messages variable. So here I'm going to get my list, and here I'm going to get my add underscore messages. Okay. So once this is done, add underscore messages also I need to import, and this add underscore messages, if you remember from my previous video already, it is already available in the LangGraph. So let me just go ahead and import this. Okay. LangGraph.message import add message, and here I'm going to basically use the specific state, right? So all these are completed, and we have this particular add messages, and we are good to go. Okay. Great. Now the next thing along with this that we really need to import is three important things from LangGraph. That is your state graph, start and end. I need to import all these things so that I get all the information that I really want. Okay. With respect to this. So this is done. Now let me go ahead and first of all create my chatbot. Okay. Because already we have created this particular state class. Now we need to probably design our entire workflow, right? So here I'm going to go ahead and execute this. Now let me just go ahead and right quickly, I will go ahead and create my graph builder. Okay, is equal to graph builder. I will create this specific variable, and here I'm going to go ahead and write state graph, and here we are specifically going to take this state. Now this state graph is nothing but it is imported from here. This state is nothing but my class. The state is going to maintain all those different states in this particular messages variable. Okay, so this will basically be my graph builder. Now it's time to probably call my LLM model, right? Because at the end of the day, if we really want to create any chatbot, we really need to use a specific LLM model. Now I've already shown you in our previous video how you can actually go ahead and use LLM models, right? Or how you can use or how you can call the LLM model from ChatGrok, right? So here I will go ahead and write from langchain underscore grok import ChatGrok. Okay, ChatGrok. And inside this ChatGrok, I'm just going to go ahead and execute this. And then I'm going to create my LLM variable, which is nothing but which is my ChatGrok. And here you can actually go ahead and see my grok underscore API underscore key. This API key I should be getting from my secret keys, right? I've already added the secret keys, and I've already shown you how you can basically add it in the previous video, right? So in order to add this, I will go ahead and write one more code. I will go ahead and write from google.colab import user data, and then we will go ahead and write grok underscore API underscore key is equal to user data dot get, and here I'm going to specifically use my grok underscore API underscore key, which is the key name that I've written it over here in my secret keys, right? Grok underscore API underscore key. Perfect. So this is fine. Now, once I get my grok underscore API underscore key, I will just go and click on grant access, and finally I will keep the value over here. So this should be grok underscore API underscore key. And here finally, this is my LLM model. And this LLM model by default is using no models. So I have to provide my model name. So the model name will be nothing but, I will go ahead and write model name is equal to gamma. I can use gamma. So let's go ahead and use gamma 29B IT. Okay. So I've specifically used this particular models, and let's go ahead and execute this. Perfect. This is done. My graph builder is also ready. Now it's time that we go ahead and create our chatbots, right? So we need to go ahead and define our chatbot. Now with the help of this LLM, we can basically call, we can call with our chatbot itself, whatever nodes we are specifically creating, right? So let's go ahead and go with the next step, wherein we will go ahead and create our chatbot, which will be doing a functionality of managing the state and also interacting with the LLM model. So let me go ahead and create my definition chatbot, because see, if I show you over here, right, we need to create this first, right? My LLM is ready. It is interacting with the Grok API. Now I'll create my chatbot. I will be interacting with this, but I will also be adding one very important thing. That is nothing but my tools, right? My LLM should also be integrated with the tools. So let's see how to probably do that. So first of all, I will go ahead and create a cell over here. I've created my graph builder. Everything is ready. I will take this LLM and I will say, hey, go ahead and bind underscore tools, whatever tools I'm going to use. So this will be my tools is equal to tools. And if you remember, this tools has specifically, what does it has a binding as? Wikipedia tool, right? So I'm going to basically bind this particular tool itself. And after binding, I will store this in a variable. This is just giving a additional functionality to the LLM that it has this particular tool access also, right? So this LLM with underscore tools will be used. Now, once I'm creating this particular functionality, I will first of all derive my, I will inherit this particular state inside this chatbot so that it has all the information related to the message. And here I'm going to probably return my output with the help of this messages variable, which is the key that is present inside the state, colon. And here I'm going to probably call or invoke with the help of my LLM model. But this time my LLM model will also have the functionalities from the tools, right? Because it also has the tools functionality, which is nothing but the Wikipedia tool. And here I'll go ahead and write dot invoke, and I'm going to probably take this particular state, this state which I'm inheriting, which is coming from this. And inside this state, you know what exactly is present. Messages variable is present. And if I take the state of messages, this is basically going to have the query of the user, right? So once I execute this, this is what it is basically going to return, right? So my chatbot functionality is ready. Okay, this chatbot functionality is ready. This LLM is being integrated with the LLM tool, so it is basically going to interact. So whatever query comes, if this chatbot is able to probably provide the response from the LLM, then it is going to get the output. Otherwise, it is going to interact with this particular tool, right? And finally, we are just going to end this. Now we need to create this entire flow, the flow of the execution, right? So in order to create the flow of the execution, I will again take my graph builder. So let me go ahead and write graph builder dot add underscore node. Okay. And then we are basically going to write chatbot. So this will basically be my node name, chatbot. And finally, you will also be able to see this chatbot, right? So this is my node. I will add the start with this chatbot node, right? I will add that particular edge because we need this specific edge, right? From start to the chatbot. Perfect. This node is basically added. Now, I have to also make sure that I need to add the tool node. Okay. So see, whenever a tool is basically needed to add, because here we will be adding this tool over here, right? So this tool needs to be added to the chatbot. Then only the LLM will be able to interact with the tool. So for that, we basically use another library over here, which is called as tool node. Okay. So let me just go ahead and import one more library. So I will go ahead and write from LangGraph in order to add any third-party tools or any custom tools. You can also create this custom tools. I will go ahead and import one tool node. And then along with this, I will also give one tool condition. Like for this particular tool node, there should be some kind of conditions we need to add, right? Now, let's see what is the error. Tool node pre-built from tool node. Okay, it should be tool conditions, tools condition. Okay, no worries. I will just go ahead and import this. Perfect. So this is done. Now what I have done, I have created a chatbot. I have connected from start node to the chatbot node. Then I will go ahead and call this tool node. So let me just go ahead and write tool node. And this tool node will basically have my tools. My tools is nothing but whatever tools I'm going to use, that is nothing but Wikipedia. And I'll create a variable which is called as tool node. Okay. So this tool node is also created. That basically means this tool node is also created. Now we need to connect from this chatbot to the tool nodes. How do I connect it? It is very simple. I will go ahead and write graph builder dot add underscore node. And here I'm going to basically go ahead and create a node which is called as tools. And this tools is going to get connected to tool underscore node, right? So this way, what we have done, this entire node is getting created, right? So here this entire tool node is basically getting connected. Now we need to probably connect this tools to our chatbot. Now in order to connect it, obviously we need to write some conditions. That basically means What does this basically mean? Like if I'm getting a query, this chatbot may either interact with the tools or it may interact with the LLM and give you the output, right? So this kind of edges, if there is a bidirectional edge like this, we really need to use something called as add conditional edges, right? So here, what we are going to use is that I will write graph builder dot add conditional edges. See, add conditional edges. That is the reason we had imported somewhere. Let's see where we have imported it. Have we not imported this? Let's see. I'll add conditional edges. Okay, we have not imported it. So first of all, we really need to import it, but no need to import it because this is an inbuilt function inside graph builder. Okay, so here I'm going to basically go ahead and write add conditional edges, and inside this particular edges here, what edges we'll specifically add from chatbot to tools underscore condition, right? And this tools underscore condition is nothing but it is basically coming from here. Now understand over here why we are adding this conditional edges, because just from the diagram you can see that from the chatbot I need to interact with the tool and again get it back. So whenever we have this kind of bidirectional, we really need to add this particular edge which is called as conditional edges. I need to give my node name and the tool conditions, the default conditions that is available over here. This tools condition is going to make that bidirectional directions itself, right, from the chatbot. Now after that, you know that my tools also needs to get connected to the chatbot. See, this tools, when I'm using this add conditional edges, the chatbot till the tools, the communication will happen, but I need to reconnect it back. So in order to reconnect it back, I will just go ahead and write graph underscore builder dot add edge from tools to chatbot. See, from tools to chatbot, and finally we are going to add an edge which is from chatbot till the end. That is what we really want, this end. So it is very simple. First of all, this is the entire flow, and this is really important. Inside this flow, we use three important things. One is add edges, add node, right? And then you also had conditional edges, right? All these three nodes we had, right? So first of all, we connected start to chatbot. So we created a node for chatbot and we add this edge from start to chatbot. Then we created this LLM tool integration. Then from chatbot to tools we specifically went, right? So if we go ahead and just revise this step by step, see, first of all, we added a node chatbot, which is having this particular functionality. And this functionality is nothing but it is using this LLM underscore with tools dot invoke. It is just trying to get the output from this particular message, right? Whatever message is there, LLM will either give the response or the tool will give the response. Perfect. Then we added the edges with start to chatbot, this specific node. Then we created our tool node. Then this tool node got added as a node in the graph builder. Then we added conditional edges between chatbot and we applied a tools condition. Then we added the edges back from tools to chatbot. And then finally we have this graph builder dot add edge wherein we connected the chatbot with the end, right? So all these things were executed perfectly. Now let's go ahead and compile this. I'm going to basically use graph underscore builder dot compile. Okay. Compile, and then this will basically be my graph, and we will just go ahead and execute this. Okay. Now finally, in order to display this graph, I can go ahead and use the same thing which we have used earlier in our videos with respect to ipython.display. This is just from the documentation. Now you can see the entire flow. See, start, chatbot, tools, end, right? Everything is basically here. So finally you can see the flow over here after executing it. Let's go ahead and test it. So see, from start to chatbot, if the tools is required, then again it is connected back, and finally we go to the end, right? So all these things are specifically connected and we are good to go with respect to this, right? Now let's go ahead and try out some of the flow, like with respect to any kind of messages. Okay. And let's see how we are going to get the output, right? So first of all, I will just go ahead and give my user underscore input is equal to, I will write, hi there. Let me just go ahead and write hi there. And here I'm just going to write my name is Krish. Okay. I'm just going to probably provide some basic input from the user, right? Then I'm going to go ahead and use an events variable, and let me go ahead and write graph.stream. And here inside the stream, I'm going to give my messages in this format. This is really important because this messages will follow in this. See, any user message, we need to probably set it up in this way, right? Messages is equal to user input, stream mode values. Okay, stream mode values, and then we are going to probably get our response. So I will go ahead and write for event in events. Let's display the event of messages -1 dot pretty print. We are just trying to print it in a better way. So whenever I give this particular message, you can see by default it is probably going ahead with Wikipedia call. Okay, this should not happen because it is just connecting my name with some famous personality name, so it is probably giving you some information, right? Sangeeta Krish it has selected. No worries. I will just go ahead and write, hey, hi there, my name is John. Let's execute this now. Okay, so query John Wikipedia. See, it is going to probably Wikipedia. So no good Wikipedia search result was found. So it is saying, hey, hello John, it's nice to meet you. Now see, it is for probably going and checking the tool message also, whether I'm going to find this specific message or this particular name over there. So it did not get a good result. Then it is probably interacting with us, saying that, hello John, it's nice to meet you. So guys, I hope you like this particular video. This was about building chatbot applications with third-party tools with the help of LangGraph. Just go ahead and try out with multiple tools and see whether it goes to RCF or not. Just keep on adding and keep on asking queries. You should be able to get all the solutions over there, right? So yes, this was it from my side. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you. Take care.